let's try. So let's just say it was, yeah. Great. I know that you're the sexist, not me. This was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, right. You know, because I wanted to put him down to a better place. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Yeah. Are you speaking?
Does it work from like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you with like going and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave with these kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say it was true.
So let's just say it was, yeah.
Whoa! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Julius and we're in an office right now. I should probably be a little bit quiet. So yes, welcome. We are going to be doing the Stanley Parable. Ultra Deluxe. I don't know anything about this. Yeah. Whoa. It's a mouse inside of a mouse inside of a mouse on the screen. Oh, whoa. Oh my god, whoa. That's kind of cool. Oh. But yes, welcome. Yeah, I guess just get started. I don't know what any of this is. It sounds cool. I'll become someone named Stanley. Okay. Let's go. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is that me?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
What do you?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay, I can do
Orders
that.
came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
Well, that's good for Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Whoa. What is this? I hate my... me too, buddy, me too. Garfield as well. Wow. Okay. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You closed my door. Hello? No? Okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wait, but there's one right here. There's a computer. Wait, what? No. Gosh. Darn it. Okay.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
Yes, I am.
It didn't make a single difference. Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, you know, it is what it is. What is this? How am I... No. How am I pressing... How am I pressing buttons in the air? Dip. 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 Click. I just press everything. So where am I going? Huh? Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did I? I don't know. This looks like the door on the right to me.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This is true. I did.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Wow.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
It is quite
Stanley
beautiful.
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I guess I did. Wow. Nice room.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room.
Yes, it is.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
I mean, these paintings
Really
are quite
worth
nice.
it.
It is. Come on. Okay.
But eager to get back to business,
Yep.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This one? I don't know. That one's kind of juicy over here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No, listen, no. I'm epic. What do you mean? What's this? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. It's not moving.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
What do you mean?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Okay.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Can I get...
Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration
I'm
for others?
No, I'm
I'm
sorry.
that convinced that I want something bad.
No.
I don't know how to convince you of this.
No,
but I
I'm
really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Something beautiful. Look.
Let me prove it.
Okay.
Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Okay.
Give me a chance.
Yes. What am I doing? Where's the beautiful thing? Okay. Nothing. Jeez. Where are we? Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door. But the blue ones, I like blue, my favorite color.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Oh.
Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I really like the blue.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Oh, I think...
Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I don't. Try to trick me. No, I like blue.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley.
Thank you,
You want to
thank
know
you.
so badly what's out there? You
I
want
do.
to find out what lies at the end of this road? You've chosen
do.
well. Don't let me stop you.
Okay.
You see? There's nothing here.
What?
I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Maybe.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
Okay,
and in the end, it was all for
I'm
nothing.
sorry.
Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley.
I mean,
Help elucidate these
it's kinda
strange,
cool.
noble desires of yours. What would have made this game better?
What
did you want to see? Vehicles?
Yeah.
Skill trees?
Yeah.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark.
You know what?
and
You know what would make it
decide, and
better?
give me some feedback.
Roblox.
There we go.
Minecraft. That's
A
not
third
Minecraft.
option. This already feels leaps
Or
ahead
Roblox.
of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take
This
it for
door
a
looks
spin.
kind of nice. I like this one.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
What?
Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I mean, what do you mean, more? Is it 3?
Oh, of course. A 3.
Yeah.
Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good?
I don't...
Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
What previous
and to be
playthrough?
perfectly
What?
candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. What? I want to go back in here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
What?
Again, honest answers, please.
What oh, yes, one word.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on.
No way.
And now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No,
Perfect. Let
I'll
me
do
boot it up.
What is it? What is it?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think
that is a baby
will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh my, I have to listen to this for No, I don't think I want to listen to this for 4 hours. No, just let the baby burn. Burn the baby. See you later, baby.
You heartless bastard.
It was loud.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
What?
It's over. Thank you for playing.
No.
Your input was extremely valuable.
What?
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful,
No.
play someone else's game.
No. It was good. It was good.
Let's see.
What do you mean someone else's? What?
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What is it? What is this?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Oh, no.
What's our backstory?
Wildlife?
What is our motivation? It seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
No, it's not.
Yes, that must be it.
That's not what I thought it was.
Fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. I don't think this is... What is out here? Whoa. Can we go down? Oh, we can. That's the other way, though. Okay. What is this?
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
What do you mean? What can't be? What's this?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What do you mean? No. Oh, I wanted to go to the Jonesy Lake.
You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
Yes.
Thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here.
Okay.
Let's find another game.
Okay.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Can I squeeze through? Can I squeeze through? No. Okay.
I think this will be just the thing.
What? What the? What? What?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Why are we in Rocket League? Where's my car?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
You...
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Yes.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball.
Yeah, it is. It's sports
We
ball.
should run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Touchdown? What?
Yes, I think surely we must.
What's this?
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh shit, it's huge. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. This is the way.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
Hey,
is it better
we
than my
did it.
miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Oh shit.
Hold on.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
I want it. No. Oh.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Wait, Mr. Narrator, where'd you go? Oh no. They're all alone? Oh! What is this? This is kind of creepy. What is this place? Oh, a light. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, it's my old office. 427. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. What do I do? Where do I go? Wait, what?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
Oh.
I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Oh.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Oh.
I can wait.
Okay. I'll wait too, I guess. Wait, what? Back here?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Ha.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, maybe we should listen to him.
When Stanley came to
Door
a set
on
of
your
two
left.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ooh.
Yet there was not a single
Do
person
not
here
alter
either.
without consulting the
Feeling a
whiteboard
wave of
manager.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Standardized graph, not efficient money. Who moved my desk? Wow. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic. Everyone is unique. You, most of all. Oh, thank you. What is this? What is hot? More slides on the slides. Charts, slides, charts and slides. Wow. A lot of percentage, yes. My quarterly post review. Need reviews 402 plus 405. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review section. A schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Eh? What's this? No more bins. Renaming of the ideas. Eh? Firing of me? Success, plant life, football, lunch. Wow, that is my dream. Lunch. Beautiful. Okay, where we go? Broom closet. Ooh.
Stanley
Hello.
stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What do you mean there's nothing here? I see tools, I see a broom. I see a lot of things in
There was
here.
nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
What do I stay in
No
the broom
reason
closet?
to still be here.
Okay, but I want to stay in here. It's nice, it's calming. This is my
It was
special
baffling
corner.
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Yep.
He wasn't even doing anything.
Yep.
At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As
I'm-
it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Doing sweet fuck all. Wow. What do you mean I'm not doing anything?
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes, it's comfortable.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why?
It's
Please
comfortable
offer me
in
some
here.
explanation here.
Hmm.
I'm genuinely confused.
I'm giving you the explanation. It is quite comfortable. Nice little corners to sit in. Beautiful. You
You
know?
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
But it's a
I never
nice
would have thought to
closet.
mention it.
There's a bucket here. There's a broom.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
There's
Maybe
pliers.
when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
Oh, I love the broom
I hope your
closet
friend
ending.
find this concerning.
That's my favourite ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
You-
He probably only got the
You
job
are.
because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Oh, wow.
That or with drug money.
Wow.
Also, Stanley's addicted to drugs and hookers.
No, it's not true. No, I never. No.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
No.
You got to this broom closet,
Yep.
explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation
Yep.
like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
No, I'm
They've
not.
fallen prey to
No.
any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's
Human?
indicative of the long-term
no human.
sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay. If I stay a little bit more. Okay, I think that's it. Wow, the broom closet was beautiful.
Second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase,
person.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, I'll follow what you're saying. I go upstairs. What's here? Executive bathroom? No way. Oh, To be rich is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Ah, yes, true. Time magazine with a little clock on it. Okay. What's this? Ah. No reflections. Can I not take a shit? Immersion breaking. Truly. Disappointing. Never close, thank you. Where do I go? In here? Really? It's in here. Wait, what?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
What
so
is
the
it?
boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. 69420. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Wait,
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I want to go to the elevator. Oh. Okay. What is this? What is this place? Down. Yeah, I guess it's A for the elevator. This'll do.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Maybe because there's no one in the air. Okay. Because there's no one in the
Stanley
area.
walked straight ahead through the large door.
Mind control facility. What the?
facility.
Oh, escape. Oh no. Which one? Escape or mind control? Ooh. Wait, where did he say to go? Did he say to go in the mind control? What is this? Light bulb.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, there's more. Okay. Camera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Where's my one?
Co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Right there. Down right there. Down right there. Oh shit. Oh, there it is. Oh wait, shit. That's my... Is it? I think. If I remember correctly. 420. It looks like it. Yeah, I think that's it. It has to be it. Okay, what's this? Okay. Man up.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know. Was it?
No.
Yeah.
They refused to believe it.
Yeah.
They couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Maybe.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Impossible. I can
Here
see
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Mind control
labeled with
status
emotions.
offline.
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Wow. I like how the buttons make nice noise. Boop, boop. Button. Ooh. 5. Wait, what? Are there numbers around? Is this one? 3. Okay. 3, 5. 1. Ooh. 1. 2. 3. 3. Where's 4? Where's 4? I can't see 4. What is this? Console disabled. Where's 4? Eh? 4 doesn't exist. 5. Yeah. Okay, what's here? Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Yeah.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Oh. Off? On? Off.
Blackness.
Yeah.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
I see.
Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Wow.
He had defeated the machine.
I didn't do anything.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
What?
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
This is true.
Where had his co-workers gone?
Yeah.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
This is true.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
No, it matters
For it
very
wasn't
much to me.
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Wow, beautiful. What is this place?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Need to get what the fuck? That's not right. That's what I thought. Okay, we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What do we do
Stanley
now?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to see what happens if we go through the red door.
When Stanley came to a set
when
of
it
two
asks
open
us
doors, this
about
was not the
blue
correct
and
way to the
red.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
It's fine, it's
Perhaps he wanted
fine.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do.
Wow. Yes.
And I
this
walk past.
room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took
Wow,
the first
yes.
open door on his left.
This one? Oh. No, this one.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Nope.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I know.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've...
See you later.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to
No,
you?
no, I know you're
I don't know how to
nice.
convince you of
Yeah,
this,
it's
but
okay,
I
it's
really
fine,
do want
it's
to
fine.
help you, to
I
show
know,
you something
I know.
beautiful.
I'll go through the red
Let me
door.
prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
I will. Oh, God. Okay. Red
Oh,
door.
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
We're going in circles.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, what is it?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What is...
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't
Whoa.
it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Yeah, this place is nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. What does it mean? Oh, colors. Wow. Oh. Beautiful. Amazing. So colorful. What's next? What's next? That's a Lula spaceship. Wow. How many colors? Oh. Green. Eh? This is nice. Oh. Beautiful. Oh. Red. Wait, what the? As soon as it went red, my OBS went red. What the fuck? Stanley Parable, what are you doing? Oh, so pretty. Am I meant to just stay in here, or what happens if I leave? Can I leave? Okay. I think I'm gonna leave.
No, wait. Where are you going?
No, what is this, Mr. Norris? What is this?
Oh no, stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Okay.
We'll lose all of this.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I won't. Nothing will happen to me. It's okay.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
I won't. It's fine.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Eh? Eh? Hmm? What? Why just... Eh? Hmm?
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Oh, look, I would love to, but I kind of want to go back.
No. What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Oh. So what? This is my life.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
It's not true. It's not true. Oh. Okay. I'll go back there. Whatever. Come on. Come on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Mr. Narrator, you're worrying way too much over the littlest thing. Oh, wow, more pretty colors.
Are you are going to stay here, aren't you?
No. No. I'm sorry, Mr. Narrator. I can't. I have to go. I'm sorry. It was very beautiful. It was. But I can't. Goodbye, cruel world! Oh, I'm alive.
Oh, thank God. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I'm sick of the beautiful things in life. Goodbye!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Okay, I'll do that. Just one more time. Just for you.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
No, I think we can be. It's alright. Just one last look around. The beautiful colors. I need water. Give me some.
No, perhaps not.
You're right, Narita. I can't see that. Oh. And this is the end.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
No,
You were
it's not
literally
true.
willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation
No,
correctly?
you're not. I don't want to stay in this place. You understand, don't you? Please. Please. Just let me be free. Goodbye, world.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
No, we can get
It looks
along.
like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I feel so bad. Oh, Mr. Narrator, it's okay. We can still be happy. We can still be happy.
Is it over?
Yeah,
It's going to restart, isn't it?
it
I'm going
is.
back.
I'm sorry. Man.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So one thing we haven't
When Stanley
done
came
here
to a set of 2 open doors, this was
is
not the correct way to the
gone
meeting room, and Stanley knew
over
it
the
perfectly well.
platforms.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by
I'm
the
going
employee
through the door
lounge
in the
first,
left.
just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
Okay, we'll
took
do
the
the door
first
on the
open
left
door on his
last.
left.
We'll see what happens over here first.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
go for
5
that.
years ago.
See what's over there.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Perhaps.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
We'll find
Please,
it. Forget.
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley.
For her?
Your
Eh?
chance to redeem yourself.
For who?
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Huh?
She's been waiting.
Who? Who's been waiting? Eh? What?
That's her, Stanley.
That's her?
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to
What
her.
is this?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
The bread?
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Hello.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Maybe.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
What do you mean? Why are you so mean? I mean,
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
please plus T.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Is this an insane asylum or the Matrix? I'm not too sure, Brady. Welcome, though, welcome. Hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for stopping by. Is this the TV?
And so he began
That's
to
not the TV.
fantasize about his own job.
What the
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Hey, that's a
The
dream?
thought excited him terribly.
Please press R to spend time with the boys. Yes.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
I see. Press L to watch TV. That's the worst button. I mean, the TV disappeared when we pressed it. Pretty weird. Please press I to prepare dinner. Okay.
As he wandered
What the-
through
where's
this
my
fantasy
dinner?
world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
Oh, yeah, we saw
And he
that.
called it the Stanley parable.
We saw the baby. Please press Y to tell your kids a story. Okay.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Please press J to tell your wife I love her. I love you.
But there is no answer.
The wife's
How could
gone.
that possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh. Please press Q to go to sleep. All right.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm not doing it. This is the Matrix? Yeah, do we like that? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I kind of want to. Let's read a story for your kids. You can't read. Oh, we don't have. Oh, the wife is gone too. Wow. Everyone's gone. Please press H to be an I have to press it.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
I can.
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see?
Back in my office.
How can I make him look at himself?
Press R to question nothing. Oh,
I
B.
suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please stop.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Wow, we're back here to the start.
Someone
Beautiful.
was following Stanley.
What a
He was
beautiful
sure of it.
sunny day.
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Wow. Okay, we need to go to the door on the left, on the right
When
side.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
It's okay,
and
it's
Stanley
okay.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business,
Here we go.
Stanley took the first
This
open
door.
door on his left.
I will.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I don't know, this is kind of tempting. What's down here?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Right. Nope, I do have to go left. Dang it.
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's to the right, my
Oh,
mistake.
you see, I was right. So,
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Eh?
What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I'll wait.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left,
Yep.
right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
That way? Okay. Ooh. Oh, there they are.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
No, I
Yes,
saw
Stanley,
this.
Close your eyes.
Okay, I'll close you.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh. Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now.
Yeah?
The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh! Okay.
All of his
Whatever.
coworkers were gone.
Okay,
What
I
could it
won't go
mean?
down again then.
Stanley decided to go to the
Just
meeting
keep
room.
going.
Perhaps
Keep
he had
going
simply
straight.
missed a memo. When Stanley...
Wait,
Wait, what?
Eh?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely
did-
fresh. Everything should be...
The doors aren't
Oh,
open.
did something change?
Eh?
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
no.
move the story somewhere or...
No,
Hold on.
no.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
I didn't do
It
it.
was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Eh? Find the story. It's this one. Eh? What? Where are we going? What is this? Eh? Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We are looping. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Maybe.
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. Should be fine.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, now there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
No.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
I don't
Why
think
don't
it
we
is.
go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, I guess, maybe. I don't think it's this way, though. I'm very sure it was the other way.
Aha! I knew we'd missed
What is this
something.
place?
The story. Here it comes.
What?
No, wait. Never mind.
it's
Not
a
the
dead
story.
end.
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. This isn't, no. That's not. Wait, oh God. Oh, I got stuck there.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is
Yeah,
this the story?
no.
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
That is.
Do you remember, Stanley?
I do. It
Well, do you know what?
Yeah.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
I win! Oh! What?
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
Wow!
job.
Thank you so much. Wow.
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
What do you mean?
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Yes, it was.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay.
All right, I've got a solution.
Adventure
this time, to
line.
make sure we don't get lost,
Ooh.
I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Wait, no, I kind of don't want to follow the line. I've been there to the right, though. What's over here? Still no doors. Okay. I will follow the line. Huh. Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Wow. Oh,
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
it is.
Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, Are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is, in fact, a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
I don't know what you're saying.
That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Oh.
You know what? I think what we need
around.
right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Round and up and up. Ooh, I like this music. Oh God. Do the bop beep. Bop boop bada bop bada beep beep boop beep. Bop bop boom. Bum bum bada boom bum bum bum. Bum boom bum bum. Bum bum bop bop bada. Bop bop bada bop bop bada. What's this point for me? Bop bop bada. Not sure. Where the hell are we going?
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
The fern,
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay, really?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Okay.
You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. If you ask me how many leaves are on this thing, I don't think I'll know. Well, let's see.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Wait, what?
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any... Oh, no.
No, this is spoiled.
How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you?
Gosh darn it, Line.
You... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Yeah, it's
We're
a bit of a
intelligent
meanie.
people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh. Is this the narrator from Little Big Fly? I don't think it's Stephen
Yes,
Fry.
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
We're going in
Go
circles.
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be,
Okay,
Stanley.
okay, a vampire.
I'm ready for it.
He goes to the office and he becomes an office worker, and then
Oh, no,
and
not
then
you
oh
again.
no.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome
then-
new story.
no.
No lines or monitor rooms.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Yeah, I'll just pretend you don't exist, Mr. Line. It's gonna be a crazy story. There's gonna be a vampire, and then the narrator guy, and then the narrator guy just walks. He talks, and the vampire dude just walks through the office.
A
Many
choice.
offices.
We get to make a decision.
Oh.
From here, the story is in our control.
Nice.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Okay.
Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay,
Okay. So I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
That's what doors
which means
do.
that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go,
Yep.
it must be a reverse door that leads
door.
here.
Oh.
And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
maybe.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay. The confusion ending. Eh?
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Eh?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Eh?
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Ah,
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
yeah, it says
Well,
you
what
forget
if I
right
don't want
there.
to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Yeah.
Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want
Something
it to
seems
be.
to play the story
I don't
that's
want the
prevented.
game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
I think we did.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
I think we might need to restart.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not
Maybe.
quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah. We back on track. New content? New content. I'll check that in a second. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
We go this
this
one.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his
Reading
stomach.
from app
But
security
eager
breach
to get
Steam
back to
reviews and holy
business,
shit, you know,
Stanley
it's
took the
such
first
animatronic
open door on
Thursday.
his left.
It do be like that.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, this just puts us back on track. Oh. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What is this? Oh, I walked down, Stan. Oh!
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
Oh,
and
no.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought
Wait,
to himself,
we looping?
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking
Oh, no.
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
We've
For
seen this
example,
card
why couldn't
before.
he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh, God, you're right.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Oh.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah,
were they
they
simply
are.
repeating?
I think
No,
so.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Oh,
he
wait, what the
imagined
fuck?
himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Yeah.
How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one.
Wow.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, we're still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
I'm
Please,
real.
just someone tell me I am real.
I'm real.
Real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
Oh my gosh.
And everything went black.
Oh. I just feel still watching this because it's working. It do be like that.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
I'm not... Wait.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
What?
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
I'm dead?
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
No way.
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh. Well, guess I died. Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Interesting.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. No, not yet. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
There we
entered
go
the door
here.
on his left.
I want to go upstairs on the elevator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. Okay, where is that? Over here. Oh. You don't have pants. What the f... Business strategy. Dang. Okay. Up. Down. Up. Up. Bam, 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 bam. It's been quite a while. Oh. Can you go down? Oh, okay. It's a simulated elevator. Okay. Doesn't do anything.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. No. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
What is it?
2845.
28.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Really
he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, there is the escape room. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Escape. Let's go.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's not true. That's not true. What do you mean, my violent death?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What do you mean death? What's over here? What is this? Wait, what? I'm not dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Oh God!
Stanley.
No! How do we leave? How do we leave? Oh God! Oh God!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Were you?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Huh. Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Oh my god.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
2 doors. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Wow. It's the Stanley Museum here. Wow. Oh, the office doors. Oh, the paintings. Where's the leaf one? Where's the leaf one? There it is. Wow, leaf. Wow. Stanley's computer. Oh. Buttons? Button sounds. Wow. Credits. Oh. Boss's office. I do know that place. Office clock. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. What a great moment. My underground. I remember that.
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How
Mission
about they're
updates.
throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing. Does that sound plausible to you? The bridge.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used.
Jumped in the river.
What? I jumped in... Stanley jumped in the river.
Stanley pushed the big red button.
Oh, I do want to do that. I wear...
Snow. Then he pushed the number 8. Stanley pushed the big red button.
I want to push the big red button. Where... I want big red button. Okay, we came from there. What's up here? Freedom. Oh, yeah, we did that. Okay. Countdown desk. One of the discs from an early version of the countdown ending. Freedom ending. Oh, yeah, we did that. Oh. Monitor room elevator. Okay. Countdown room. Ah. What is this place? Zending? I want to put... Oh. What? I want to push a button. Assume the... Okay. Oh. Zending levers. Wow, beautiful. The apartment timer. Oh, yes. Cargo lift. Cargo... Wait. What are we doing here? Can I leave, please? Can I please leave? So many offices. I don't want to stay here much longer. Please, can I please go? Oh no. Except there we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Can I just... There we go. Oh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I can.
No, perhaps not.
Oh.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Really?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it.
Wait, what? Quit the menu?
Don't let time choose for you.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I did it.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
The new
simply
content
missed a
door
memo.
will be closed now. Okay, good, it's not. Oh. Okay, what do we need to do now?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
We need to
he
go
entered
into the
door on
mind
his
control
left.
room and press on rather than off. I don't think we've done that yet.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his coming to a staircase.
I'm
Stanley
going.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I was thinking
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a
2845.
living soul anywhere. Stanley was
There
in
we go.
such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
I'm sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Calming. I feel it.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Very good music. Mm-hmm.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know. Oh. Click, 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 click. Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped
That
to life.
one, right
Their true
there.
nature revealed.
That's
Each
my, it's
bore
me.
the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
pirates.
nothing.
Pirate over there. I want to see what's on the pirate screen. I can't even see. Pirate. I don't even know.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Don't know.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
What do you mean?
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what
Yes,
you want?
I do.
Control?
I do.
Stanley, I applaud your
Control
effort.
is
But you
mine.
need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Really?
You were supposed to let it go.
Oh.
Turn the controls off and leave.
No,
If you
no.
want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Oh, no.
It's your time to shine.
Oh, no.
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you,
the room's open,
about
like,
me, where we're going,
What?
all this means.
Oh.
I barely know where to start.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Let me draw.
A moment of solace before you're
Charge.
obliterated.
Oh, crap.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
No, that's
But
cringe.
I'm enjoying this so much.
No.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Oh,
Why
thank
not?
you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
This is
Oh,
true.
dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be
Yes.
doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No?
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
Red button.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Goodbye. No!
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Oh, no.
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
I guess I dead. Dang it. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. Doesn't mean. Oh. Oh. What is this place?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Whoa.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes, it was.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Wow.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too. Oh.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Me too, me too. This is going to be great. Perfect, amazing. It's not
Is
moving.
it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Oh.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
Yes,
it's as if
you're right.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Ooh, where is it?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
You can jump. Oh my goodness. Wow. I can't jump out of the circle. I have to stay in the circle. Beautiful, beautiful. Amazing. This is what I signed up for. Oh, yes. Ooh. And I can't jump anymore. 0. Can I reach? I want to jump more. Okay. Interesting first bit.
Is that it?
Maybe?
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
I don't know.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
You're
I could
right.
counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
What is it? Thank you for enjoying the...
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What
It does,
quality
it
assurance
does.
department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I want new content. Oh, this is new. Ooh, then. Huh. Oh.
Psst. Stanley!
Yeah, what is it?
Come over here. In the vent.
Why in
I
the
want to
vent?
show you something.
Okay, give me a second. What's up
Oh.
here?
You don't want to see the cool surprise
No,
I made for you?
I'll see it,
Well,
I'll see it.
Never mind. You're not a dork.
Oh. Ooh, screwdriver and coffee. Coffee nut. Wow. Ah. Hmm?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be, but it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it The memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful
forget.
Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
Oh.
Oh, the waste.
Stanley Parable buy on Steam. Smile because it happened. Ah, yes. Dollar bill. Stanley Parable demonstration. An achievement. It's impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Wow. Oh. It's won a BAFTA. No, it's nominees for BAFTA. Nominee. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Oh. Stanley Parable deals with tough choices. Oh.
Je suis dans la memory zone, c'est cela pris des loups.
Loving memory, little Stanley. Oh, little Stanley.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructos.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
What?
It's
No way.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk.
Thank you for episode 3.
A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Beautiful. That the Stanley Parable recognizes Persona 3 because Atlas does not. Though they did recently, I guess, but it's been so many years. The tasteful nostalgic. It was good. Memory zone maintenance. Original. It's original. Whoa. 29?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
No way. Oh, we got through here. The serious room. I want to go in the serious room. Let me in. Move. 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 Where do we go? People play games because of what they can do inside them. And your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Okay. Okay. Understandable. I don't know where to go.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
it's open down here now.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Oh,
What's
no.
this? What's down here?
What is this?
No.
Oh,
God,
no. Oh.
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Oh,
I haven't
no.
looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these
Steam
reviews were
reviews.
glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
No way.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Steam reviews don't seem to be very positive. Ah, what's this one? Oh, no. That's positive, but it's upside down. Can't even see that. There we go.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No, you're not
goodness.
preachy. It's
This is
fine.
actually quite shocking for me.
It's okay.
I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
I see.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
I
Yeah.
think you're doing
What an
well.
awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Why?
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto.
Only
and
positive.
It's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Oh. There it is.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And
Okay.
it goes something like this.
What?
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth,
yeah.
until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until
Okay, I press button.
240.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of
sorry,
course,
I
you
missed
need a
it.
description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
So my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every
Skip.
person you've ever... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Yeah,
but that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over.
Okay, no, you're rambling again. You're rambling.
From the... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
A large crack?
Of these. All I want is for us to move
Hello,
on
is this
and to
Stanley?
please
No,
step
this is
away
Patrick.
from the skip button to go
Welcome,
anywhere
Alula,
other
welcome.
than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I
I
swear
think
there was.
so.
Where did it
Welcome,
go?
Alula. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for
Maybe
stopping by.
Just
We're
ram
doing
your
new
way
content
through a
now.
wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave?
I'll try.
Please, I'll take any option at all.
I'm trying.
I'm asking you to work with me here.
I'm trying.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to find us a door.
Okay.
I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please,
But I want to.
Please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay. I trust you, narrator. I'd have slammed the wall. Ah, yes. I think we need to press the skip button. Maybe. It's so tempting. Skipping and just not having to wait. Oh. There's your big peepee. I'm going to press the skip button. I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, what time are we at now? 2:15. So I press the skip button. I pressed it.
Stanley,
Yeah.
please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh God.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
Oh no.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
What?
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again.
I will.
You? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out. Then... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak
I can't even check.
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always?
I do.
Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a...
What then?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart.
I am
it
not.
was an impossibly rich,
he would have
wellspring
spoken
of both
for a
delight
year.
and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a...
Narrator? Where are you? Oh no.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one...
Entertain us. Yeah. Where's his button?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh no. There's a hole in the roof. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. How long have I been waiting here for? greenery. Wow. What happened to the ferns? Oh God! Oh no! No! Well, it ended. This place sounds terrifying. No. I want to leave. Oh, the door. What the? I wonder, has the button gone back up? Button? No. What? Am I? I'm free from the room. Oh. He's never the end, he's never the end, he's never the end.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
What is this? It's changed. New content. Oh, hell yeah.
Good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Oh. Okay. What's here?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my goodness, wow. The end is never the end again. What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Taste the sequel. Wow.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. Oh my goodness. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Ooh. Cool red section of the chart. Boring sections of the chart are understandable. Ooh. More TSP. Better TSP. Sequential mindshare. Paradigm shift synergy. Brick and mortar approach. Envelope client-centric marketing. The color red. Ooh, I do like the color red. E. Is sequel drink salty? Maybe. Oh, there it is, the phone. The phone, that will be very important. Oh, no way. The Stanley Parable 2. Ooh. Thanks for attending my meeting. Wow. Two
Now,
Two
to be clear,
Stanleys?
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Two
I
eyes.
figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Oh. Two BBs. What? What? Eat? Apple. Food. Wow. Sequels are good. Portal 2. Half-Life 2. Batman Arkham Asylum 2. City. Divinity Original Sin 2. Doom 2. Aladdin 2 Return. Okay, maybe not that one. Okay, no, not that one either. Wow. This way to the show floor. Okay. New features. New content. Oh yeah, I'm ready. Oh. Whoa.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some
Much?
of the features.
No way. Nice. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. Office decorations. What is this? A button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Your name in the game. Enjoy the new features. Your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself,
Yes.
what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
You're gonna say
Isn't
Julius?
that wonderful?
Yes, it's wonderful. Too small. It's like a little nipple. Just right. Oh, I see. Too big. Okay. What is this? Hear yours today. My name? I want to hear him say Julius. I do. Will he know? Do you know who I am, Button? Julius. Julius. Come on, say it after me. Julius.
Jim.
No, that's...
Sorry,
no.
I should have clarified. Right now,
No,
the button
it's not.
only says the name of Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Close.
Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full
There's
experience of this
J
feature.
there, I guess.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath. Clear your mind,
yes, okay.
forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jimlius. It's
I want
me.
you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
I'm sorry,
If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this
Oh,
button.
okay.
Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
I think that's
we're
what
doing
it is.
again, and this time let me finish first.
Okay.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
Imagine yourself
Imagine
driving
Jim
to
the
work as
Vtuber
Jim,
freaking
playing
out.
frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
cold.
Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim
I can feel
right
it.
now?
I'm Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim. I am Jim.
Jim.
Oh,
What a thrill! What a rush!
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah,
The
it's
button
that's
describes
me.
You. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay. Oh,
It's even
that's pretty
harder
good.
the second time.
Yep.
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
That's true.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Oh no, I couldn't. I need it.
Oh, there.
Oh.
Boy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
No,
I'm
I
putting
think.
the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise,
No, you
soon
fucking
you'll
don't.
start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I'm Jim. I'm Jim. Where am I again? Where are we? What? Hello? How'd I get here? What the? Name heals. What's my name? What? Stanley?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
These no screenshots. Oh, I'm doing it. Oh, yeah. I'm doing it. Baby is all grown up. Wow. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. I'm just screenshotting all of this. Ray traced. Oh god, that looks amazing. Why are you doing that? Julius van Jim Verheiden. Sounds good to me. Jump circle. Ooh. Infinite hold. Wait, no, I need to see the reassurance bucket. No screenshots in here. It's in here. 2.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
Okay.
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
You know what? Happy 12th birthday, Stepneys.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
No, it's not. No, there's Stepneys. Dang it. Oh, there.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Aw. Really?
Come now, you've already made your choice. It's
did.
true that you chose badly, but we
No.
all have to move on from our mistakes.
Fine. Cringe. Okay, the reassurance bucket. Ooh. They're catching me screenshot. I don't
The
know.
common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in
there's no
those who
bucket in
played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
There it is.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long
want
as
it.
you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Wow.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
I do agree. The
Come on,
buckets don't seem
give it a
like the
try.
perfect solution. Ooh. Ooh,
Can you feel it?
I
The
can.
glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
I'm
must
taking this.
already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
Thank
can
you.
I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, it does.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
No way.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they?
They do.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I just take back the bucket, please? It's like the companion cube, it is. I'm taking this bucket. Wow.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I
There really
wish.
should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh, collectibles. Okay. Jump circle. I am here. 5. N5QBZ hashtag B squared 3 colon A9KE. Ooh. I don't want to exit just yet. I need to see the jump circle and the collectibles. What's over here? You find them. Can you find them? Collect them all. Eh?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Miniature
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Oh.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable
There it is. Oh my goodness. Stanley. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I know, right? Oh, it's a jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Okay.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh.
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh. Have I really explored the last area? The one with no screenshot? This one? Do you mean... Where is it? Over here. 2. I think this is the end. Yeah, there's nothing else here. This is it. Don't mind me, just gonna screenshot all of these. Beautiful. Oh. What is? The free new plus easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Eh? Free achievement. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps. Oh.
Now, here's something special.
Okay.
You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes.
Oh.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be
This
given to
achievement
you.
unachieved.
It's as simple as that.
Pull.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last
I
satisfy
want
the
it.
hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Wow, they really put an achievement you couldn't get. Dang. Much QR. Okay, let me take a look. Bam, 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 bam.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Not too sure. Down there we haven't gone. Okay, we saw the button that says gym now. Okay. It says Jim. It doesn't say my name. It just says Jim. Screenshots. Okay, we saw that. Match QR code. Okay. Okay, I'm going to scan this. Go to scan and see what this QR code does. It's even scannable. StanleyParable2.com. Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2. Wow. It's got its own website. Beautiful. New content part 2. Oh, we done that. We got the reassurance bucket. Nothing in there. Exits over there. What haven't we seen? Jump circle, did that. The map, we've seen that. Regimen, yep. Button that says name, yep. Merch, yep. Settings world champion. What's that? Yeah? Settings world champion. Where's the settings world champion? Infinite hole? Wait a second. Wait a minute. Go down here. No? Is there a second floor? Maybe. Yes, up there. Yes. That's new. What's new? Jump circle, infinite hole. Okay, we'll see what we haven't done. We haven't done the settings world champion. We've gotten the bucket. Office decorate, we did that. Epilogue. No, we haven't done that. That would be in the exit, wouldn't it? Okay. Collectibles, we did that. Infinite hole. The over here. Exit. Jump circle. Oh, the exit's up here. Okay, what's down here? Nothing. Okay. Let's go to the infinite hole. I do like this big Stanley, though. It's quite nice. It won't end, okay? We'll see about that. Time depth. Falling distance space, eh? Oh, no. Infinity hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. What happens if I... Can I get out?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of it. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
What?
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
I found the bottom.
You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
I am.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
No.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
Okay.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now,
Wow.
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay. Nice hole. Oh, they covered the top of it. Why? Yeah. Oh. Okay, what else is there? There was the settings champion thing. Yeah, okay. Settings world champion. Mostly infinite. Okay, they fixed it. Nice, nice. Settings world champion. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? Eh? Eh? I want in. Settings world champion. Doing. Set it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm going to just do all the settings. No. I think we have to do every single setting. Translation. Audio. Let me actually see how to do this. Okay. Okay, I literally do everything that I have to do. Oh, ASMR vampire keyboard, indeed. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is a story of a man named Stanley. Bam, bam, bam. Come on, I want it. No? Didn't get it? Eh? Eh? Oh, there we go. Settings World Champion. Beautiful. Wow, we got it. We got it. Set all setting sliders in the menu to all available numbers. Okay. Can I come in then? No? Oh, really? I got the thing. Oh. 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 Oh, I need to switch off the translation. There we go.
Aha!
Great job, I did
can
it.
see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement.
I did.
Done. You've experienced every setting.
Wow.
Traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen.
I did it.
Just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting. Something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, it was for the king, yes. Congratulations, Settings World Champion. Ooh. You're the champion of setting all the sliders to all possible numbers. Please enjoy this room. This is your room. It was made just for you. They will never set the setting sliders to every possible setting. Wow. I like that. That's a good meme. That's a good meme. Wow, what's this? Settings World Champion. Ooh. Nice. We did it. We did it. Nice. Oh, that's new. It's a black door. Okay. Oh, it's just a dark room. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yeah.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh. You don't have anything on the epilogue? Okay. 2. Why this 1, 2? Wow. You had Jim in the game? I did. Is that everything? Really? I mean, ambitious sequel, but still. Jump circle, okay. This map, yep. Fridge event, yep. Button, yep. Merch, yep. Setting World Champion, yep. Stanley Parable Bucket, yep. Office decorations, yep. Epilogue, yep. Collectibles, yep. Infinite Hole, yep. Just the exit now. Oh, I don't want to leave.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I have. Whoa. What is that? Ooh. No screenshots. Okay.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I do.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here
am.
it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they wouldn't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What is it? The Stanley Parable 2. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. What the fuck? Is this actually it? Begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wow, these new and improved features like balloons.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wow, new paintings. Oh.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Wait, the bucket? What bucket? Oh, the bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Wow. Oh yeah, this is comforting. Oh yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Is there something in the broom closet? No. Still useless.
Stanley, can you feel it?
Why?
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
What?
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
No.
It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
It's mine.
This is your companion.
I'm not giving it to you.
Friend.
Oh.
You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons. Even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
Okay,
Share your journal entries
will.
detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Broom closet, you're mean and smelly. And,
okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
There we go.
Now it's settled.
Easy.
No more debate.
Stanley.
No more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet. With all the meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
That's right. This is my bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah.
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
It's beautiful. I found it. Whereas your property of Stanley. You want to be property of Stanley? Oh my.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yes, I did.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
She was.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
You'd rather have property of Julie? Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Wow.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you, bucket. Thank you.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
This is it. This is it, bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I wonder.
The monitors jumped
There's
to
mine,
life,
there's mine.
and Stanley
Right
nearly
there.
dropped the bucket in shock.
Oh,
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Is there one for the bucket?
Had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Bucket, pirate. Where's pirate? Pirate's up there. No bucket there.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
I don't
Had
know.
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
go.
No! He screamed into the bucket.
Oh.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point,
You're my
he
friend
could trust
forever,
no
bucket.
one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good.
Yes, I will.
Best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, yeah.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
No.
Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Wow.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
What?
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
No!
Go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? Where's the bucket?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I see.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Yeah, it was.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay.
Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question
bucket.
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay. Bucket.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again
Dark room.
obeyed blindly.
It's not dark. pretty light. Oh, this dark room, okay. Oh.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay. Anything for your bucket. Anything.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Why is it sad?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket. Hello, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press Q to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
No, it's real. It's real. Press F to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press P to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
No!
That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It's my friend. Don't listen to the loud man. Press J for us to go back home. Okay.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
That's why I ignore anyone in your life except for me. Okay.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does. Oh. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press V to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press you to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
No.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press L to go back home and work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
You're looking...
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No, it's mine.
Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it.
No.
Give it to me now.
No.
Give it or I'll...
Close my eyes. Okay. My bucket. My bucket. Go back to work, Stanley. Is the bucket with me?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Don't. Let me check something. Eh? Hmm? Eh? 1 second. Okay. I went to
The
bucket.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh. Bam, bam, bam. Eh? How will we confine them? Bottom tick. Do we need to find them all? Oh god, there will be a reward for finding them all. Oh. A large room. Stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace. It's some kind of game. Hey. You're having fancy food. Ooh. Interesting. I guess I need to find all the collectibles.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, there's one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Mini
Stanley
stands?
ships. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh, no, I don't want to go there. No. Oh, we went in here. There's nothing in here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
5.
The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Nope.
Was the bucket guiding him?
Where's my big colossal brain?
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
What
like name better
Stanlerines?
encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Wow. I want to do something. Wait, what the f... Okay.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms, Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
Nope.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Gotta find the Stanlerines.
No,
said
Oh,
the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
the Stanlerines.
The cargo lift, yes.
Oh God, how do we get
Go
there?
there. Go to the cargo lift.
No, stop. No, I can see the Stanlerine. Down? Stanlerine. It is the Stanley.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines.
Figler and Marine, wow.
And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
What?
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us
I need
can.
all the Figler and Marines. Okay, so how do we go back? We just have to fall? No. Yeah. What is this place? What is this?
Okay, this is day number 295.
What?
Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
What?
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Oh.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh.
There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful. Because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
What? Will do pretty wrong. Yeah. What the frick? Gamborata.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Of course
He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
So the meeting room
Stanley
said
had felt the bucket
a
calling
place
to him,
that
telling
is
him
red
that the
and blue.
employee lounge was simply
There
the
is
place
only
to
one
be.
place.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I need to go to the place that is red and blue.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good, said the bucket.
I need to find the last
now
figure
ride the
and
lift
animal
all the way to the
release.
top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Nope, I avoided what the bucket told me. Where is the figure and release? I need the figure and release.
No, stop.
No.
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets
Where?
past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was
Oh,
okay
fuck.
to bring the bucket here?
I'm
What
sorry.
if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Oh, I
I
mean,
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here.
in
for a
here.
moment.
Okay. What is this? Is this?
Now then, I'm going to run you through
Oh, no,
some test
it's gonna be
scenarios,
cake.
and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a
Yep.
bucket.
Yep.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Okay, I'm ready.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect.
No?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an
Oh.
actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh. Okay.
Item 3.
No,
Is
no.
this a bucket?
No, it's not. Nope.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Nope.
Correct.
Hey,
This
I'm right.
is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Is this a bucket? Oh.
Is this a bucket?
No, it's not. Wait, what?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Wait, what? Eh?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Nope, that's a tractor.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What
too.
is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
We're all buckets.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes, you are.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets
What?
from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything's
Every
a
single thing in the
bucket.
game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
I'm not.
No, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't
Wonderful.
change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right,
Kind
here
of
we go.
sucks information. Okay, everything is a bucket. You're a bucket.
How
That's a
wonderful.
bucket.
Stanley was alone.
You're a bucket.
Finally. This is great,
He's a
he thought to
bucket.
himself. This is what I
Figurine
wanted all
Finders
along.
Committee.
I got what I wanted.
Okay, I need to find the last one and actually go there without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so we have to go
Stanley
through
was
here.
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I'm following my directions.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What? Really? I was in
What's
the
over
middle
here?
of something. Do you have
What's going on
zero
over here?
consideration for others?
Key
Are you
card?
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Okay.
Give me a chance.
Okay, we can go through here. We don't have a bucket.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked
There
through
it
the
is.
red door. And there it is. The
last Stiggly Wiggly.
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So,
Can't
instead
have
I'll
that.
just say, it's done. We're all done here, and now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
No. I don't want to do the beautiful thing and baby again, so back to the start we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Stanley,
Wait, what?
I'm sorry,
Eh?
but I have to put a pause on things. It's just, it's those figurines.
Yeah, what about the figlies?
Those figlies.
Yeah, what about
I
the
haven't
squiggly
stopped
wigglies?
thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it
yes.
fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh, okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
The memory zone. When Stanley found the collectibles. Memory zone. Oh no, where'd it go? This thing's missing. Oh, we haven't gone down here. It's over here.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Goes past 6. Okay, what was next? Oh,
And
yeah, was
here
this one?
was
What's
the
on this
second
one?
Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You
did.
did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
What's next? Okay, the one that was next.
Okay, let's do a little quiz.
Under the stairs.
Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand?
Yes, one.
Can you
I
remember?
I do.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your 3rd time doing anything.
Really? Yeah, my
Let's see,
4th...
what came next?
Eh?
Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room.
No,
well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, I don't think so. Yep, this was the 5th one.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah! What's back there? Oh my god, there it is, right there. It's mini Stan number 5. It's beautiful. It's only missing unregistered hypercam. Wow. You found it near the cargo lift. Yes, I did. Thanks for watching. What the fuck? Credits. Narrator. The best boy narrator. Copyright the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
It
I
does,
spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Wow. And this one, the blue room one. Yeah, there it is. Oh.
And then, Stanley, we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh, they both lead to the same thing, okay. Oh, wow. You are in the present. Oh.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye.
Whoa.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Wow.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes,
I do.
I love that video.
My tracker died. Give me a second. Okay. Need to move myself down. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. There it is. We can move again. I don't remember this pink room. No.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Oh, it's not bad, not bad. The one
These
under
really
the
were
stairs.
a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh. This one's the one in the bathroom. There it is. Beautiful.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember?
I do.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
There it is.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Ooh. Oh. 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 I don't think you want
Look,
to go.
it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
Yeah.
I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything.
You know what? Yeah, it was kind of epic.
I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
More? More memories. Okay.
Oh, yes, the two doors.
Oh,
Who could
yeah.
have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Ooh.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
I don't.
There's something I feel
so.
I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now.
What?
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason.
The Figlies.
Why did I invent Stanley?
Oh.
Was I lonely?
Maybe.
Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
One more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I was
Perhaps
sure
he had
that was
simply
the
missed
end.
a memo.
No? Oh, wait. 1 second. But is it the end? 1 second, 1 second. Okay. I think I need to restart. Quit to desktop. Okay. 1 second. Oh no, it's frozen. It's frozen. Oh, there we go. One second. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Okay. What? 1 second. Okay, no. Okay. I think we're back. There's no more? No, there is, right here. Just the slider. Okay, I do that. You adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, them. Oh, no, just friends. Not lovers. This is just a slide until number 5 becomes a number 9. Okay. 9. It's just a slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Okay. Which of these two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Okuboinkal or Scrumtush? Scrumtush. Please don't adjust the slider, okay? Do you know what time it is right now? I do. The time that is... It is right now the correct time? Yes? What time is it anyway? Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? No. Help. Okay. Will you come back? I will, yes. Begin. Yes, o'clock. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This is...
Okay. There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What?
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Wait, what? 1 second. Okay. Oh. Wait, what? Did we miss something? No? What? Wait. I'm trying to do the final thing. What? Give me a sec. That makes no sense. Bummisocity. Oh no, I need to see that. Okay, I didn't even notice. What time is it? Does anyone really know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't know each other. We're like strangers. I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. You don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games are meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? It's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little bit of time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Epilogue. Okay, where was Bummiscosity? There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 1,000. Beautiful. Yep, that's the one. Epilogue. Epilogue. Many, many years later. Ooh. Oh. Oh, we're back here. I just noticed the lighting. Give me a second, 1 second. The stand. Okay. There we go. Oh my god. Wow, fire! Sky. See you later, fire. It was nice knowing you. Chair. Beautiful chair. You're crying? Oh no. Eh? Oh, it's memory zone. Eh? What happened to the memory zone? Eh? No. Oh. Eh? What is it? Oh. What is that? Review the Stanley Parable 2 Cooking Lines blog. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for, an infinitely deep hole. Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we got an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing! I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from... Cat Dog Born. Oh, yeah. Cat dog. Cat dog. Alone in the world, a little cat dog. Yes. Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. Get on the green. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception of the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series the players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original, and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press. Wow. Lowest aggregate review scores in video game history. Wow. Beautiful. A friends with the cat dog. Oh my goodness. Wow. Stanley here. Oh, it's the 6 Stanley Leanleys. That's mine, that's mine. That's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Oh my gosh, there's so many. 26. Okay, no, not yet. Not yet. That seems like the way to go. Oh. What's this say over here? What's this? Oh.
Jim. Stanley.
Oh! Stanley!
Jim. Stanley. Stanley.
Jim. Oh. Stanley. Oh, no, we read this one. How did we? I guess we do have to go down here. Okay. The magical cave. Hello again. It's nice to see you. It's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developers said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. That's... I need water. Give me a sec. Let's run this franchise into the ground, let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy, let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title. Okay. Stanley Parable 3. The didgeridoo. Temple of swimming pool. No. The didgeridoo. I can't do the I can't do the Temple of Journey to. Oh, it's one or the other. Okay. Infinite didgeridoo. There it is. Beautiful. The Stanley Parable 3. Infinite didgeridoo. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Shall we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say in as well. Ooh. I wonder. Yes, let's do it. Good then, it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. You know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Right there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? I am. Great. There's only one last thing to do. Please enter the current time. Okay. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. There it is. The Stanley Parable 3. Infinite didgeridoo. Oh my goodness. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beep beep. There is one last thing we need to do. One final thing.
All of his co-workers were gone.
We need to go to
What
the
could it
expo
mean?
again.
Stanley decided
Go
to go
to
to the meeting room.
the machine.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You can't dead. Nope. Expo hold. Good. Okay. Good. Good. This is what I need. Come on. Let's go. I want that achievement. Probably put my tracker back on now. Give me a second. The Paralystannable. Welcome, Tuxedos.
You see,
Yes,
Stanley,
yes.
I've been reflecting
About to,
on the
let's
Stanley
prep now.
Parable and about how
One final
roundly
thing we need to do.
disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Wow.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step.
We finished the
even
Stanley
further.
Parable, we finished the
Which is
Stanley
why
Parable
I'm
2,
very
we finished
proud
the
to
Stanley
announce
Parable
for the
3
first time
Infinite
ever,
Didgeridoo.
The Stanley Parable 2.
Beautiful. Okay, where's the expo? I need to go to the machine.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
Where is it?
that surely
Oh, it's
the
down
game
there.
will sort of naturally
I'm going.
spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Wow. It's gonna work, finally. Please. Please, please work. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Hey! I got it.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
Yes, I did.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago.
Don't worry about it.
Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched?
Maybe.
Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Wow. We did it, we did it. Oh. We need to do one more thing. Maybe. I say as I watch this happen. Yes, yes. Okay. I need to go to door 430. And, then we'll be done. Where's 430?
All of his co-workers
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
doing this for the achievement?
Yes.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
Yes.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Yeah.
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
Okay.
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
That's 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost
Okay.
certainly 50 clicks.
I can do that.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has
Yeah.
to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want
Okay.
to see commitment.
Okay.
A willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417? 417? 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
438? Oh. I know what this one is. It's over here.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay. 415. 415. 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Okay. Oh. 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Copy machine. What you? Where's it? Oh.
All right, back to room 417.
Okay.
I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. I'm really feeling it.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay. How do I?
Yes!
Oh,
this
yeah.
is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
But wait, okay. 416. 163. Where's that? It's 416. Okay, where? 416. This one? Where's 416? Where's door 416? Where? What? 416. What? Apparently door 416 is this door here. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Make an
door.
anime girl sounds compilation of Julius with it. This is true.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I have
Feeling
to
a
get
wave
door
of
416.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
One second. Oh. It's telling me to do a little sneaky. Is around here?
Stepping into...
There we go. Banny. I am a genius. Banny. 411, 412, 413. That's 416. 415, 416.
We've almost got it!
Oh,
now the
yeah.
copy machine
Okay,
do
okay.
that one again!
Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, beautiful.
Finish it off, Stanley!
Yeah.
5 clicks on door 4! Yeah!
Yes!
We did it!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley.
Yes, I
Nothing
did.
could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how
What the
far
fuck?
we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. What
the fuck is
really
this?
now? What were you thinking?
Did I? Oh, what is this? You are now leaving. What? Escape pod? What? Escape pod? What? What? Where did this come from now? I'm so confused. Escape. But we did the epilogue. We found the ending. We made Stanley Parable 3 Infinite Didgeridoo. What more is there to do? Eh? I guess this is the end? Escape pod launch bay. Here we go. Can't really see. Oh, there we go. Oh. Wait, what?
All of his code
No!
was gone. What could it mean?
No escape.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
It
missed
is
a memo.
what it is. I think that's everything that I can do. I don't know. I don't even know. Looking at the achievements on Steam, play Stanley Parable the entire duration of a Tuesday. I can't do that. 888888888. What's 888888888? 8888 Stanley Parable. Oh. Oh. Yeah, there's another one. No, it's not 5 years. It's not 5 years. It's 10 years. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. I think that's it. I just grabbed the
Where are we
bucket.
going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just
I
smiled.
grabbed the bucket.
Anywhere they went together
And
would be.
I
Stanley
think
clutched the
we
bucket
start
tightly
wrapping
to
it
his
up.
chest and entered
Finished
the door on his left.
the Stan Figley's
Still,
thingy.
no one was here.
With the
Stanley
epilogue.
needed the bucket's warmth and comfort.
We
now more than
wrapped it
ever.
up.
Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a
I think,
staircase,
yeah, I think,
Stanley
yeah.
and the bucket walked upstairs to the
Check it.
boss's office.
To the bus room. Okay, I'm going to start just
Stepping into his manager's office,
wrapping
Stanley
it up.
was once again stunned
What do you mean,
to
what?
discover not an indication of any human life.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into
Stanley,
an emotional dumpster fire,
Stanley.
if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Wow.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him
There it is.
always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Yes, we are.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any note.
Menu time. Okay. There it is. Thank you everyone for coming. Hope you all had a wonderful time. If it is night, I hope you have a wonderful night. If it's morning, you have a brilliant morning. I've been here, Julius, and we've been doing Stanley Parable 1, 2, and Stanley Parable 3, Infinite Didgeridoo. Wow. I do the song of Stanley Parable 3. There it is. I can't do it infinite. That's impossible. But Stanley Parable 3, he can do it. He can do the infinite didgeridoo. Wow. So yes, thank you all for coming in. Regards to next stream, we'll be on Friday. It's just quite fun. I enjoyed my time with this. I'll miss you, Stanley. Can't believe our name is Jim. But anyway, thank you all for coming. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye! Wow. Baba Booey, Big Stanley. I'll miss the bucket so much.